Oh. Oh, we're live. Oh, sorry. I must have missed the time. Well, since we're live now, we might as well do some Trainz route building. So, with me is Mr. W. Say hello. And Slovak Eagle. Say hello. Okay, well that's him anyway. Hello, Kango Fango in chat. Yeah, that's interesting. So, oh, 1 second. Yes, I must have... did I forget to switch it over in the system preferences? Oh, yes, I did. Right. I did. Sorry. Now, say hello, or whatever you want.
Hello?
Can you hear them?
Hello?
Hello? Ooh, how's it going?
I think we just lost him.
Oh, good grief.
Good grief. This is what happens
Can you
all
still
the time.
hear me?
Yeah.
No, you can't. 1 second. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey,
Hello,
we're
hello,
back
hello.
again. Lost you
Yep, we can
For
hear
some
you.
reason, even though I'm running it in windowed mode, it still didn't like me switching back and forth. So,
Kango can hear everyone now, and
Good.
JFRXXN has just joined.
yes.
The one with the one with the
Yeah.
crown.
Hello there. I'm out right now, but I'm going home, so I'll be back. Okay. I can hear everyone. See you in a bit then. Yes. So,
Yep, they'll be expecting you.
that sounds mildly threatening.
Yeah, just I'm expecting you,
Exactly.
Mr. Bond.
Yes. So, right. If you don't hear me talking, or then I'll just have to periodically check if it's still picking me up.
Working, yeah.
Yeah. Is this becoming a running joke? Right, we're live, yawn. Maybe.
Yeah.
I was thinking more along the line of a laying joke, but running joke works as well. Right. So, welcome back to the Milton Valley
we lost him.
Railroad. Really?
We've lost him again. Chat.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Hello.
For the third time.
Okay, I'm going to switch. Okay, tell you what. I'm going to put it over here to the side so that I can see if the green circle disappears when I'm talking. If it disappears, then you've lost me. Or I've lost you. I
Just
don't know.
once you get it working, don't touch anything.
Right.
Oh.
Nope. Still here?
You're saying it like it doesn't break itself.
Can you
Yeah,
still hear
that's
me?
true.
You can, right?
We can hear you now, yeah.
Good. Yeah, the little green circle didn't show up, so now it's showing up though. I think it's probably lag. It might be lag. It might actually be lag because I'm running Trainz now. It's quite laggy. Well, a bit laggy. So it may very well be that.
I mean, I can confirm that on my side you are cutting off.
Please?
Yeah. Okay, well, let me see if I can turn down some settings. Well, let's...
Going
Oh
on?
wow, yeah, that was... Yeah, okay, now that you say it's lag, yeah, I can actually pretty much confirm that it's lag because it just decided to do it.
Yeah, so it should be less laggy now. Is it better? Or am I still cutting out?
Yes, it is. Seems so,
Okay, so,
so
yeah.
far.
Okay, well, let me turn the settings down just a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll see in like 30 seconds whether you cut off or not.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just turn the render distance down to like 2 kilometers. We shouldn't really be working on anything further away than that anyway. So this is now quite a bit smoother. So am I cutting out or not?
No, you're not.
Good. Yes, good, thanks. Good. I'm reading chat, by the way. No problem. Good. So, last time we placed down a very American signal box, as I'm sure you can tell. And yes, we've been working on fields. So in this stream, I would like to work on the sugarcane branch a little bit and make this substation look a bit better. So, right. So how are your days going so far?
Yeah, not too bad. Not been a bad Boxing Day.
Yeah, it's been quite nice.
Good.
Due to complications, we actually had our Christmas Day today on Boxing Day.
Yes, I remember you mentioned. So,
Wait, unbox?
Yeah.
yeah, it's a British thing. I'm not sure if anywhere else you've got Unboxing
Really?
Day. I think it's a British thing.
Boxing Day
Unboxing
is just the day after Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's a British thing.
Is it really? Oh.
So, right.
I think called that because it's the day that in old times they used to box the stuff up. I think.
Could be. So, no, that doesn't look good. That looks horrible. So, I've had a look at some power substations, and on all of the reference material I saw, it was only one power line coming in. So I'm still not entirely sure on how to make this look good. Right. Well, there is that other power substation. Not sure where I used it. I think I used it up here, which has the power line coming down into it, or no? Yes? Ah, yes, this one. So I've got this object here, which has the power line coming down. So I think I'll probably just use this one for the other three. Boxing Day is definitely used in Britain, but I don't think it's exclusive to Britain. Ah, I see. Yeah, I'm not really that well versed in Christmas tradition. Right. Can you all still hear me? Can you say something, please? Because I have a feeling that I can't hear you anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
1 2 1 2.
No, I can still hear you. I just saw
Can you hear?
I can hear you. Yes. The thing was,
Okay.
I saw the circles around your Discord icons blinking green, and I couldn't hear anything. It's probably just because there were quiet background noises that it picked up. This has me a bit paranoid now. I mean, that
Yeah,
looks...
haha.
that
You've got me paranoid as well. We lost you
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, this looks a bit better, right? Waiting
Well,
for
yeah.
25 seconds until you can see what I'm.
Yeah.
let's
More
see.
like 30 on my side.
Yeah. Mr. W
Yeah,
says
it looks good.
celebrated. Oh, right, before that, Wikipedia says
Yeah.
it originated in the United Kingdom and is celebrated in a number of countries that previously formed part of the British Empire. Oh, I see. So it is a British thing. In parts of Europe, such as Caledonia, Czechia, Germany, Hungary, and the Netherlands, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, and Scandinavia, 26th December is celebrated as a second Christmas day. Interesting.
As a Slovak, I can confirm.
So it is originally a British thing, according to Wikipedia. As we know, Wikipedia is the tome of all knowledge.
Yes. Everyone's favourite unreliable source of knowledge.
Yes.
The one thing that saves every single student on the planet each day.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Although, I can't really speak from experience. Right, so... right, field. Oh, that looks strange. Oh, look at how metal the grass texture is. Look at how reflective it is. Because the light is so low. Oh, that's strange.
Oh yeah.
With the normal map.
Very, it's very foggy. It looks very foggy.
Yeah, a bit. Let me just set the time of day a bit differently. Well, let's just set it back to like 10 a.m. because that's like the default time the Trainz loads in at. Also, no shadows because actually no, there are some shadows. That's strange.
Right. Well, hey Chris, and yes, we are.
Hello,
in the
Chris.
Discord
Yes,
voice chat.
my Discord voice chat. If you join, you're welcome to join as long as you're obviously respectful and stuff like that. But if you would like to join, you can. It's on my Discord server. Yes, as long as you, of course, meet the prerequisites of age, basically. But since you have a Twitch account and a Discord account, you probably meet the requirements, because otherwise you'd be breaking those user agreements as well. Right.
And of course you need a voice.
Oh yes, that too. A voice is mandatory, sorry. Right, so where should the next field be? I think the next field should come out sort of around here-ish. Although, I did want to have a road accompanying the railroad, so actually let's put that in first. I think a little dirt road should suffice. You will all see my real voice. Yes, I will see your real voice, indeed.
I knew he was going to do that.
Okay. Sure.
I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, how could I not? See a voice. I'm
Obviously.
excited.
See the sound waves for it.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing someone's voice, like, bro, how much coffee did you drink today?
Yeah, although it isn't as bad as you might think, because what forms someone's voice is the vocal cords and then how the throat and mouth cavity form the sounds. So if you see the things that make the air vibrate, you're technically seeing someone's voice. Or if you just speak in a really smoky room that you can actually see the air particles vibrating, then you might also count that as seeing someone's voice. What do you think?
That's true. But
I think that one thing makes you unable to breathe, and the other thing is quite disgusting.
I would say that that's more seeing the effects of speech rather than seeing the voice in and of itself.
Well then, give me a definition of what the voice is. What is a voice? What's the definition?
I suppose a voice would be this sound of speech.
Yes. So if you can see the sound waves, like in a smoky room, then wouldn't you be seeing the voice?
Yeah, that's true. Apparently you already know what Chris's voice sounds like, Slovak.
Vaguely?
Alright.
I'll add me on that.
You'd see the things that make up the voice, I'd say. Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Right. So, here's a question, which, for you, Mr. W, is probably a bit irrelevant because you've never played Trainz. However, for other people who are in chat or in voice chat, what are the top 5 things that make you want to start a new Trainz route?
Oh boy. Why do I feel under attack?
I don't know, you're not supposed to be. I'm asking because recently I've had such a strong urge to start a new Trainz route a couple of times. I haven't, because I want to finish some of my projects before I get into more projects, and was just curious what some of the other things like that were. For me, it was one when I forgot the username, but in Discord, when that one guy posted, I think it was Chris, posted that map he made of his German route, like the actual stylized map, and just seeing all of the stations and distances between the stations and where yards are supposed to go and the names of the towns, that really made me want to just start drawing a map and make a Trainz route of it. That's one thing. The other thing was when I watched a... Oh, what was it? No, I didn't watch it. I got the Bernina Pass route for Train Simulator, the one in the Alps. I got it at a discount for Christmas, yes, discount, and I only played the tutorial of it, but just the way that the tracks snake up the mountainside and serpentine and go through tunnels and twist and turn and loop, it just made me want to make a narrow gauge route set in Wales in the mountains that just goes up for miles and miles. And yeah, so I was just curious what some of the other things like that were for other people.
Well, I can say that on my side, it's pretty much, well, first things first, mood. I need to be in pretty much the mood in order to, like, start working on any kind of project that I would be interested in too.
Yes.
Second
One second.
is the available content. You know that I've only worked with the DLS, so it's quite limited to what I can find, and I firstly need to find the content that I want to work with, and if I find everything I need, then I can start it. If I need anything additional, I can either make it custom, like from other buildings or stuff like that, or just give up.
or learn how to use Blender and then import it yourself. Also, hello Chris in voice chat.
Yeah, hey Chris.
Oh yeah, hello Chris.
Mr. Slovak, I've been expecting you to be here.
Oh, have you?
Ah.
I am great.
Alright.
About to eat pizza, but it's not ready yet.
I see. Chris.
Pizza. Now you're making me want to eat.
Chris. One second. Chris,
Continuing where I left off.
One second. Chris.
So how are you all today? How are you all in this beautiful day?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Pardon me if this is wrong.
If one of you didn't know, I actually got all the Trainz 12 DLCs. I might already said this to Sharadize on like last stream or so.
Yes, you did. But your voice sounds quite young. Are you at or older than 13?
Yes, it's because my microphone is really bad, so I might sound young.
So you're at or older than 13, right?
Since it's a laptop, so laptop internal microphones are really bad, so...
Yeah, but your voice does still sound quite young. So you are at or older than 13, right?
A little younger than 13, you said?
No, I asked if...
Or older.
At or older?
Yes, I am... No, not exactly. I'm almost 13. Not yet.
Well then, I'm sorry, but you're violating the terms of use of Discord and Twitch.
The rules of Discord, yes, I know.
Yeah, also Twitch.
No. Oh
But
boy.
yes, I'm already 12, yes. My birthday, I made 12 this year. Like, I don't know, like a few days ago or so. So, I'm almost 13, but yes, I still violated the laws of Discord.
Yeah.
I shall now pay for my sins.
Yeah, well, I'm really sorry to have to say this. However, I really need you to leave the voice chat, unfortunately. I mean, I'd love to have you stay in voice chat. You're really nice. However, because I'm also archiving the stream, I really can't have you in voice chat, unfortunately.
Fine, but at least I will be in stream.
Yes. Although, if Twitch
Alright.
finds out about that, then yeah. Right.
Bye.
Bye. Well.
Yeah, and that's like another thing. Twitch has been lately quite going down on stuff like this as well.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Even though,
So,
yeah. Well, that is unfortunate.
I mean, I did know he was young, but I didn't. Talking over each other because haha delay.
By the way, are you listening to me via
I knew he
stream or
was
via
young,
Discord?
The Discord.
Oh, I see. You've got that big
Because,
of a
like,
Discord.
Yeah, I don't get it. It actually doesn't happen, and like no matter the server, like anywhere I am on voice, it's just like all fine and all right. But on like anything that has to do with you, my favorite streamer, is just dies? I don't know.
Okay, well, two things. One, oh, thank you very much. Okay, and secondly, I have no idea what's causing this. Maybe it is my Trainz lag. Maybe that has something to do with it. That my computer just isn't processing my voice fast enough to send at that speed. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
I mean, Macs aren't really known for their multi-purposeness, so yeah, could be that.
Anyway, let me just I want to read chat now.
Before all yeah, go for it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, term of all knowledge. That's so weird, Trainz. You're in Discord? Okay, yeah, we've already done this. Okay. You'd see the things... Right, we read that. Bram not on the call. That'll explain it. I thought you said you weren't going to join. 1, rolling stock. 2, setting. 3, endless possibilities of how you'll be able to expand the map even though you haven't even started it yet. Yes, those 3 things make you want to start a new map. Very interesting. Hello, welcome to voice chat. Yeah, he's muted himself. Okay. Kids. Now, if Twitch finds this out, you are all banned. We are all banned. I see. Bye. Right, Discord? No, Datcord. Yes, I hear your VST stream. Frisk Disc. Trainz, I said tome of all knowledge, not tomb. Yeah, well, sometimes tome is also said as tomb. I've heard it's being pronounced as tomb as well. Yes. Other way around. Yeah. Anyway, Slavic Eagle, you were saying about Trainz routes before we got interrupted.
Yeah. So, going back a few minutes.
Yes.
Back to the past, I guess. So, we were talking, basically, what is our motivation for making routes, and I've got the mood, I've got the available content. Now, the third thing that is really what decides me to make a route is multiplayer possibility and popularity. If people are interested in it, there is a higher chance that I will make it.
Yes, that is that's a very good point. So what would you say?
So I usually go first.
So what would you say has a high interest from people?
Oh, that's pretty much tough question, because I mean most people are divided into all the different stuff. It really depends on how, because there are many ways you can divide it. You can either have passenger services, freight services, slow trains, fast trains. You can also have shunting or industrial work.
Yes.
So that's a thing to choose from. Then you can have people who are admirers of steam trains, diesel trains, electric trains, and the people who are different eras as well.
Yes, indeed.
So there's a lot of stuff that really goes into it, at least for me. I don't know about other content creators. It probably just depends. Oh hey, I'm gonna build this because why not? Maybe someone is like that. But for me, it really depends. Because if I'm making something, I want to enjoy driving on it with people.
Yes, that is true.
So I'm always most of the time maybe I have an idea for okay, this is a nice idea. I might build this. For example, the Old West route that I'm working on right now is basically oh hey, I have the motivation to do this. I'm gonna start it, and then I'm okay, yeah, this is coming out quite nicely. I have the interest in it. I'm gonna ask around who else is interested in it.
I am, definitely.
Then decide, okay, so this many people want to see it done, this many people don't want to see it done, and depending on that, I basically change the priority on the route and all the other routes that I'm developing.
So, in other words, what a large part of what routes you make depends on peer pressure.
Well, if you put it that way, yes.
I know it's not a very flattering way to put it. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. And with me, the thing is, with me, what route I make, yes, I have some preferences as to what I enjoy more, between steam or diesel, electric, slow train, fast train, whatever. However, the most important thing is that, well, two things. One, that the route is of a high quality. If the route is realistic, then, basically not just realistic. If it's a beautiful route, then it really doesn't matter that much to me what, where, and when it's set. So, like, for example, why do I keep getting the wrong texture? That's strange. So, for example, if it's a route set in Caledonia, so in Scotland, in the age of steam, then I'd love that. If it's a narrow gauge Waldbahn in Germany, which is basically translates to forest railway in the modern times, then if the route is well made, if I can tell that a lot of love has gone in there and the author knows what they're doing, then I'm going to enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, I definitely get you on that, definitely as well. Like, there's like another kind of thing. Like, I only build something that I know I will enjoy myself as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
obviously,
along the process, I am basically trying to satisfy the other groups as well. So, hey, there's this group of people who like shunting around. Okay, I'm gonna build a big yard make it like the central hub for the entire route, and have everything basically go from there.
yes.
You have the people who like the long distance freight trains or passenger trains, and yeah, sure, I mean, I'm into that myself as well. I like that a lot, so there's definitely gonna be a lot of time of me working on that as well, you know?
Yes.
And stuff like that, accordingly, of course.
Well, with me, I tend to include something for everybody, if possible. Like, for example...
Definitely.
Like, for example...
Yeah,
with...
by the way...
Yes, Mr. W?
Just saying to Slovak, Chris says that he'll pass the recipes for the Brazilian food on next week's stream. Whatever that means.
Alright.
Whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
The next thing, basically, is like the quality itself, as you said, it has to be high quality.
Yeah.
And there is a reason why I'm focusing more on the European side of routes rather than American. And it's not because of like not enough content or low quality content. No, there's a lot of content that I can use, and a lot of high quality content as well on the DLS, built-in, anything. The reason why is because America doesn't allow such diversity as Europe.
I see.
Because
like,
in Europe, okay, fine. Yep. In Europe, you cannot okay, fine. In Europe, you don't have the long 11 kilometers long trains, or 11,000 feet, sorry. Long
11
trains,
kilometer long trains. Don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas.
Now, don't worry. The longest record is held by Australia in 7 kilometers.
Those iron trains, I think. Anyway, you were saying?
Yep, the iron ore train in Australia. But like, okay, fine. You don't get the miles long trains. You get like a certain, I don't know, 750 meters long or 1 kilometer maximum. You know. With intermodal stuff, but yeah, that's like the thing. Okay, fine, that's fairly long considering to the scale of the yards and routes.
Yes.
Because you cannot fit 750 meters into every yard.
True.
Just like you cannot fit 12,000 feet into every yard. So you basically like have to go to a bigger yard, divide it up, and into smaller trains. Do that. Basically locals or smaller international trains, stuff like that. And that's like the thing. Okay, so you basically have the trans-country, across the country, international, I don't know, route, freight, passenger. That's something you cannot do international in America because it's just one big country.
It depends if you have it. Well, first of all, it depends. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think there are two things you could do about that. One, is you could scale it down. You could have a scaled down version where, yes, if you make a huge map, you could have it go from, for example, from Canada through the USA and then into Mexico. Like going from north to south could be quite interesting. You could start in the snowy mountains of Canada, then go through the plains into the deserty area, and then to Mexico. That might be very interesting if you scale it down.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do it real scale, or close to real scale, you could just have it set at a border. Yes, you wouldn't really notice that big of a difference from a scenery point of view, unless you choose a place that does have a lot of scenery. Like, for example, Washington, I think. Is Washington on the Canada border? I think it is. If you go somewhere like there, with the Rocky Mountains, then you could have, because of rain shadow, you know what rain shadow is?
Yep, I do.
Yeah. But I'll just explain it for people who are watching the stream who might not know. Rain shadow is basically when mountains are so tall that rain clouds get trapped on one side. They can't go over the top, so they just rain down on one side, and the other side is desert. That's rain shadow. So, like for example with the Rockies, you've got some rain shadow on. I can just show you a map. That will explain it better.
I mean, I have basically something like that right now on my Old West route, where you just slowly change from the desert into mountains in the forests, into forests at the mountain area. So yeah, but mine is kind of like more situated around a river.
Ah, yes. So this, for example, you can see the Rocky Mountain. I think these are the Rocky Mountains, or I think these are the Rocky Mountains. Yeah,
Rockies.
You can see the rain comes from the west, and then it hits the mountains, and on the other side of the mountains, it's drier, basically desert. That's the rain shadow effect.
Yeah.
So if you set, like for example, if you set an international route on America, the continent, up here, so with the border between Washington and Canada, you could have deserty area down here, you could have mountains here, and then you could have, kind of, what's the word? Temperate. You could have temperate area down here. So you could have it seem more like... Okay, here's interesting. Okay, say you go diagonal. You could have a deserty area down here in the USA. You could stylize that to be typical USA stuff. You could cross over the mountains. And then in Canada, you could have it all very green and snowy and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I get you on that, yeah. I mean, I understand, like, yeah, you can do the... internationally in America as well, but not many people are really interested into that, to be honest. And even when you like cross the border, doesn't really like matter whether it's USA or like USA to Canada or USA to Mexico. The only difference from USA to Canada you're going to see are flags, and the only difference from USA to Mexico is gonna be the style of the houses. So there is definitely like more variety in USA to Mexico, but people don't like that, and USA to Canada, you wouldn't really notice it. And that's like something another like on Europe, because you can see that you've crossed into different country because everything changes.
I see.
The trees sometimes also, definitely the style of the houses, the trains obviously. So yeah. And another thing is like when it comes to basically like, the passenger services. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
America is not exactly known for the greatest.
Yeah, I mean it was once upon a time the New York Central, Pennsylvania Railroad, all of those kind of names. But then
once upon a time, but unfortunately there isn't enough content from that era to actually justify creating any route or session, and everything that is on third-party websites, so it's not useful for me.
I guess you've got to break out Blender.
Yeah, but imagine making 150 or so locomotives just to make one route.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, the time investment would mean that you would have to, well, one, you would have to make it as payware, and to justify the time invested, and two, you would have to make it so expensive that nobody's going to realistically buy it, because from their point of view, it's just not worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, that's basically the things. Like, what can I say?
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, because in Europe it also allows you for everything to exist within a small area. Electrified rails, like non-electrified tracks, diesels, steamers, anything really. You
Third
can have
rail.
excursion trains anytime you want. Honestly, you get like much like more interesting local trains. You get the passenger services like commuter, stopping, fast, express, international. So yeah.
Yes. I'm just trying to figure out if I've actually got speed limits over here. No, I don't think I have. No. Right. So let's do that then before I forget. You can listen to some sheep while you wait. Of course, now they don't make any sound. Right, there we go. Speed limit time.
What? I was nothing. I thought that we lost you again, but then I came back. So.
All right. Yeah, I was just not saying anything. I was waiting for the I was waiting for the sheep to say something, but they didn't.
Bah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read chat again. Let me read chat.
They started talking really posh.
All right, yeah. Maybe it's been incorrectly pronounced then. Ah, well, what are your 3 reasons, Shard Eyes? Well, I said 5. I'll get to that after I've read chat. Say to Slovak that I will pass the recipe. Right, I already said that. Say, Shard Eyes. And what about Feldbahns? Well, Feldbahns also. The thing is, Feldbahnen, you're just driving around a field. Waldbahn, you're driving around a forest. To me, Waldbahn sounds more interesting. Feldbahn, by the way, means field railway. It's a German term for it. Duck, you add your third-party content, Chris. Slovak Eagle 2020. Sure.
What?
I have no idea. Chris quoted you saying that you said, Duck, you add 1D, so advertisement. Duck, you add your third-party content, Chris. I have no idea. He's not a big fan of third-party content. Yeah, me neither. Because the thing is, with third-party content, you can't upload it to the DLS. If you can't upload it to the DLS, then you're only going to reach a fraction of the people who would otherwise enjoy what you've made. And there aren't that many people who play Trainz as it is. And if you cut that group of people into an even smaller group of people, then you're basically making it for yourself. Let's see. Thing is, with Europe, you don't get these 11-kilometer long trains. Slovak Eagle 2020. He did say that. I did say that,
yeah, I can agree. But I didn't say the previous thing, that's for sure.
But the thing is, it is true. You do not get 11-kilometer long trains in Europe. It's true.
No, you don't.
Isn't there like a quote?
I don't think you get 11-kilometer. I don't think you get 11-kilometer trains anywhere.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Isn't there like a quote?
Yeah.
Yes. So, Mr. W. Yes, on the VIP voice, I think it's VIP voice chat, Slovak Eagle server. There is a quotes channel. It's pretty much at the bottom of the list, where you can put quotes like that in. You're welcome.
But you're
Feel free to destroy my life.
There isn't one in Shadow's Discord, but there is one in
The allegations will pile up.
Shadow's, yes. It is on the Canada border, so is Montana and Alabama. Imagine if Trainz had dynamic clouds like that, 3D ones. That would be nice, as long as they don't lag a lot. That would be a good name for a night. Imagine a video game set in medieval Europe, and there is one character, one NPC you can meet. His name is Sir Lagalot, and he's got a special ability of rubber banding. So when he's in a fight, he can just rubber band out of the fight.
What?
I guess you just basically
Yeah,
invented a name for a player with a very bad internet.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you mean by rubber banding? Is that some?
Rubber banding is when, in a multiplayer game, one player... Okay, so basically with multiplayer games, a lot of the time, things are handled on the client, which means locally. So each individual computer calculates how the game is supposed to continue, and then every few seconds, it synchronizes. So if a player is connected with a very bad internet connection, then the server can sometimes only get updated information on the player's location, say every couple of seconds. So locally, it looks like the other player is walking forward, then the server gets a message from that player's client saying, oh, the player has stopped, and then the player will teleport back to where they actually are. That's basically rubber banding in a multiplayer sense. There's also rubber banding in the sense of racing games, which means that cars that are behind the leading cars, the further back they are, they get a speed boost, so it's easier for them to catch up with the cars in front, which is a bit cheaty, I will say. However, it is a thing that a lot of racing games do. Am I right?
Yep, you are.
Right.
I can confirm GTA does have an interesting method of this feature, actually, which when you are the host and you're setting up the race, you can either turn on that feature or turn off.
Interesting.
So yeah.
So what sort of speed do you think is good for
So whether
this
you want to...
little branch here? I think 30 miles per hour, probably good along there. What do you think?
Yeah, 30 could be good. Might be a little bit slow. I would say 40.
Well, let's do 35.
It might take him a while to get up to this point in the chat, so I'm just going to say it now. Chris wants you to say something in your original language, Slovak.
Oh.
Yeah.
You...
Don't shoot the messenger.
Can I?
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
I'm just waiting for confirmation to be heard from Shared Eyes on that, if any.
I've just said go right ahead. Oh no, am I gone? No, I'm not gone.
Oh boy,
I'm not gone. You can go ahead. If you can still hear me.
Okay. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Okay. I'm just like thinking what I can say, something that's nice, and gives you a good taste of just how horrible my language is. Pozdravujem všetkých ľudí na Slovensku.
Interesting.
And translation for that?
I haven't understood a word of what you just said.
Good. Okay, right. The translation for that is I'm saying hello to everyone in Slovakia. So basically, greetings to everyone in Slovakia.
Is Slovakia the language, or is it Slovakian in English? The name for the language.
The language name is Slovak.
Yes, but if you say so would you say you say something in Slovak, or would you say something in Slovakian if you say it in the English way?
In Slovak.
Interesting.
Oh.
Also, hello.
And
KFR
also the
XXN.
people who live in Slovakia, they're referred to as Slovaks.
Yes.
So yeah.
Welcome back, JFRXXN, by the way.
Hello, welcome to the voice chat. We cannot hear you. Right. So I'm just setting up the speed limits. So there's 15 miles per hour going into the yard, and then there's 55 going back out. And I do want to have 30 mile per hour invisible speed signs on these on these junctions to switch between the lanes, as it were. So I'm just going to copy them from back here, because the signals will indicate the speed change.
I didn't realize.
What? Actually, let me just catch up on chat.
I didn't realize. Didn't realize our Prime Gamer was in the voice chat.
That's
He's muted himself, but he is in.
That actually get caught by mountains. Oregon State has a bit of everything. It's on the coast. Should go forest, mountains, and desert. Nice. Well, I say everything. Me waiting for Slavic Eagle to speak his OG language. Low coast too? Shunting looks too? I suppose so. Not necessarily excessively expensive. Making DLC cheaper will have many more people buy it than having it cost an obscene amount with no one buying it. Just imagine if the Albula line for TS was priced at $6.99. Just imagine all the people buying it. Yes, that's true. But with Trainz Simulator, the audience is, the player base is already trained to buy the stuff. In Trainz, people are used to having things for free on the DLS, which is a great thing for content creators. However, if you're making routes, you have to price them accordingly. Because the thing is, if I were to price, for example, this route, the Milton Valley Railroad, if I were to price this at a price that reflects how much time I've spent on it, taking into consideration how many people I expect to purchase the route, then I would have to make it quite expensive. Probably too expensive for anybody to realistically, for it to be worth it for anybody to buy it. However, the thing is that I'm playing Trainz anyway because I enjoy it just for what it is. And I've been making routes for many, many, many years. So if I make a route and then I put it up, if it's good enough, and I put it up as payware at a lower price, one that I would actually consider purchasing a route for myself, then I'm just getting a bonus, essentially. I'm just getting some sort of compensation, I guess, for the time I would have spent on it either way, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Base price.
That's the best possible methodology on that. So yeah.
Best price of that is for $24.99, 15 quid for virtual route. That's expensive. Yep. And Sir Lagalot, XDDDDD. Should I it's not Alabama. I said, Alberta, of course. I'm trying to read chat very quickly, but I think a lot of it. It's not that long. You can tell just by how quickly I'm talking. If I were to talk slower, then it would probably drive you all insane, because you're not used to getting this low of a speed of information from me, right?
You don't know what is speaking false until you heard a Slovak guy on Eastern Slovakia order a beer in the pub.
Sounds like Sir Lagalot, exactly. Rubber banding happened in FS. Oh, Miscom. Alright. Farming simulator. Wait, rubber banding, not the racing kind, but the lag kind did happen in Farming Simulator, yes. Have y'all heard of New York Central S1B Niagara? Yes, I have heard of the Niagara. With that locomotive, the tender is so enormous. Yes, that's a great locomotive. Shadows. 35 seems fine.
Slovak dropped out as well, by the way.
Did he? Slavic Eagle, are you still here?
Huh?
No, he's still here.
The music. Oh.
But there is sort of a kink after
just didn't say in his stream.
Yeah, you're right. Back,
no,
I think so. Nice. Okay, back, right. He muted himself. Hello. Also, right, alright. Okay. That's okay. Shy, it's not 15 quid for a virtual route. 25. Alright, I thought I said 25. Must have been mistaken. Lol. Just left because I'm using wireless headset, and if I'm in a call like that on PC, then I can't hear anything else besides the call. Oh, I see. Right, so someone said something about a kink after the level crossing? I can't see it. Anyway, I did, yes. I'm not sure what you mean. Unless you mean this corner here? Zoom further away. But this corner here, I mean, that's fine. Trains are not going to go through here very quickly. Yeah, okay. Right, so what were we talking about before? Oh, right, I remember.
Something about motivation to start a new route, I think.
Yeah,
was a while back, but-
so my 5 reasons. So reason thing number 1 is if just reference material. Either if that is playing on a route in Train Simulator or looking at rail fanning videos online or things like that. Just reference material. I see something that looks so gorgeous. I think, oh, I could do this in Trainz. I have the power to create this and to drive on that myself. That really makes me want to do it. The second thing is maps. If I see a rail map, like for example, if I look at, here's the thing, when Slovak Eagle, when you played Mini Metro the other day, I really wanted to create an interurban metro route based on something like that. That just from a feeling. Of course, I wasn't really going to do it, but just from a feeling point of view. That's the second thing. The second thing. The third thing is if I have a good idea for a multiplayer session. Then if I want to create a route that I can do that multiplayer session on. Fourth thing would be, let's see, do I have a fourth thing? Do I have one? Right, of course, locomotives. Yes, of course. Like, for example, a couple of days ago... Oh, hello, Swidar. Welcome. If you would like to join voice chat, feel free to do so. Right. So, yes, just a few days ago, a content creator on Trainz released some Caledonian Railway locomotives, so those blue steam locomotives for Scotland. And just looking at those, I would so love to create a route for them. Just looking through the DLS and looking for locomotives that I could download, that is also right up there. That is also right up there. So now the last one, the fifth reason, a thing that really motivates me to create a new route is, well, let me think about that. It's quite hard to think of a fifth reason.
He said 3 at the start. You put yourself on doing it.
No, I said 5 in the beginning. It's only everybody else seemed to have gone for 3, even though I said 5.
I've gone for 4.
Oh, you've gone for 4. Well, then yes, we've got one who went for 3, one who went for 5, one who went for one who went for 3, and then hopefully one who goes for 5, namely me. The fifth one. Let's see. Right, here we go. I've got a fifth one. Color palette. If I've got a color palette for a route. Like, because for example, if I was looking through assets on here and I found a really good grass texture, for example. So let's just look through here if I can find one. This one maybe? Well, okay, sure. Like, for example, if I look at this grass texture here, to me, this looks like a lawn or something like this. So if I look at this and think about how could I use this, I can't use it on this map because the pattern would repeat too much. So then I think, oh, well, maybe this would fit well in a garden railway, like a 2-foot gauge garden railway that's maybe only one baseboard. I think, oh, well then, yes, I could put on some of those old Welsh locos on that. And hey, I could have a pond, maybe a golf area. Oh, and maybe I could have a road going between it so that the individual's property, who that garden is, I could connect those two sides with a bridge going over the road. And then, I could have a session where there's maybe an open house day where it's like a festival and people are invited. So that I can place tourists all along the paths, along the little garden railway and things like that. And yeah, and I just got that from this grass texture. I mean, if you mix in things like trees, skyboxes, tracks, things like that, then yeah, that's my fifth thing. So now I've got one who went for 5, one who went for 4, and one who went for 3. So let me quickly read chat because I want to catch up. Look trouble for okay. Brazil also had some locos nicknamed Niagara and also were 484s. Very nice. Mini Metro, lol, yes. Shredders, do train songs also motivate you to starting train routes? Yes, that's a sixth thing. Because I do like listening to songs about trains. I have one I can recommend. It's called the Fairly Duplex Engine. Have you heard of it? I know Kangafango has. Anyway, yeah, that is true. Railway songs do that, yes. Because with songs, you imagine not only you don't just see the railway, but you can feel the emotions behind whatever railway or locomotive is the song is about. Yes. Let me just continue reading chat, and then we'll get to some other people talking as well in voice chat. I would say so, yes, Kengo. Like you knew it. Ah, you have been spotted. Oh. Hello, and right. On this episode on Spotting Swedar, we have spotted a wild Swedar. That content creator's called EdHeap6.
Wild Swedar.
Yes. There he is. Hello. Something looks quite different this time. It's the lights. Probably behind me, the lights. By the way, there's a green candle on the table behind me. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. Right. Right. He's made hundreds of freeway locomotives and rolling stock for trains. Yes, he has. Right. Insert Metal Gear Solid. You've been spotted sound effect. Ah. Yep. Yes. Shadows. I thought you had said 3-2. No, because that would have been 32. Go for 5 what? Reasons that really motivate you to start a new Trainz route. Ah, well, hello. It's a long story. 5 reasons that make you your Trainz route, exactly. Not really that long of a story. Source of motivation, if you will. Ah, to be honest, for me, it's sometimes pure motivation to put something down or just doing something that already exists, but just making it better. So I am always for close to real or fictional. Yes, nice. Now this here's a story about the Rock Iron Line. Yeah. Shadows, I have. When I saw it in the local shed, I thought I'd lost me mind. 2 front ends together and no tender on behind. I know that song. That is the Fairly Duplex Engine song, by the way. I didn't even notice the lights. Lights, welcome to the stream. Yes. So, now that we're all caught up,
Paradise.
Yes. Yes, Mr. W.
Paradise.
Yes.
Oh.
That was a noise.
Paradise?
Yes, Mr. W. Can you hear me? Yes.
I can hear you now. Do you know the poem "The Tay Bridge Disaster" by William McGonagall?
I don't think so. However, the name sounds familiar.
Widely recognised as one of the worst poets to publish in the English language.
Oh, I see. Oh, there you go. That's
He wrote songs about real world disasters. One of them being the Tay Bridge disaster in 1879. As in, that's when the
disaster happened.
Disaster occurred.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thing, by the way. In the
go on.
2 things. 1, Kangafango's just posted a photo. Well, a drawing of the Fairly Duplex Engine, so if you want to have a look at it in chat. 2, here's one interesting fact about bridge building in the 1800s. Because a lot of it was more rule of thumb and experience rather than actual calculations, when a new bridge opened, I'm not sure if this is true for all bridges, but for train bridges, the designer behind the bridge
had to stand under it.
On it. The designer of the bridge had to stand on the bridge in the middle while they slowly rolled a train onto it that they made as heavy as possible. That's a genuine thing they did.
Yeah.
Does that fill you with confidence?
That was all bridges, yeah. As far as I know.
Right. So what do you
to
want to
be
say?
fair, it's not a bad idea. It's not an inherently bad idea, is it?
No, it's not. But still, if a bridge holds out the first time it's properly used, doesn't mean that it's going to stay together through maybe the winter or the summer as metal contracts and expands through the heats and cold.
But I suppose for the job it's designed to do, aka hold trains over it, if it survives that, then I suppose in those times at least they would have thought, oh, okay, well, it should be fine.
Yeah, they did.
Should.
Yeah.
I've been
We'll
actually...
just leave it. It's not our fault if it goes wrong. We've done our bit, mate.
Yeah, so I watched... Well, I recently watched a few episodes of Well, There's Your Problem. Have you heard of it?
No.
It is a... Well, to quote them, it is a podcast with slides on YouTube about engineering disasters. And that's actually where I got that from, that bit of information. It's quite interesting. And they're definitely not afraid to make morbid jokes, which makes it funny. Yeah. So yes, if you want to have a look at some of that, I would definitely suggest their channel. Not sponsored. Right. So,
What did you say the channel was called?
It's called Well, There's Your Problem. It's on YouTube.
Ah, thank you.
Slivig Eagle, do you have anything interesting to say?
Can I just quickly say... Yes, I do. When you were talking about like your reasons of making a route, and you mentioned maps and me playing Mini Metro and like how it got you to build, how it got you to want to build a commuterized railway. Mini Metro is the reason why I built like 3 or 4 metro routes in Trainz, just to give you an idea.
Oh, well, that is very interesting. I can definitely...
And I'm still seeking inspiration from that game, like the different layouts it makes you do. It's really interesting, and I do plan on making another metro route, but this time not Russian nor Slovak, but American style
interesting.
metro. So I want to like take the line design from Mini Metro and like basically like plan the map in there, so I can just then use it.
Yeah, because the thing is that I think one of the biggest contributing factors to why Mini Metro is so inspirational is because of how abstract it is. When you see that map, the same with other maps, when you see that map in Mini Metro, you can see where land is and where water is. You can see where tunnels or bridges go, where stations are, and your mind fills in all of the rest of it. So I think that gives you more inspiration than if you actually saw the map like top-down satellite point of view, bird's eye point of view, for example.
I mean, I can on my side confirm that for me the reason why I like it so much is because it reminds me of like the typical metro map design, and to be more precise, the London Underground map design.
Yes, exactly. Now, I think I accidentally
and I've always loved the design, so when I found basically a game that allows me to make my own London Underground map, I was just like, yep, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Apparently, I mean, I've not been on it, apparently, but if you go on the London Underground, it is dead silent. No one talks on it at all, apparently.
Really?
Oh,
okay,
now I
so
wanna go there.
Do you want me to share a couple of short stories about when I was on the London Underground last year?
Sure.
Could I quickly say something first?
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. As for motivation to do stuff, I mean, I suppose with most things, it's a desire to get what you have in your head down, and make it physical, quote unquote. to make it real, to make it happen.
To make it into a thing. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Make it more than just an idea.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Can I start with my story now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I've already told you
These
this.
turn out to be false as well.
Sorry, what? What did you say?
Go on.
What did you say? I didn't catch the last sentence, Mr. W.
If these turn out to be false, like your like your ghost stories.
No, these are real.
We will not be happy bunnies.
I was so surprised that people actually bought that ghost story was real. Really, honestly, like.
We really did hook, line, and sinker. There was so much. It was so much detail. I think that's why we believed it.
Yeah, Mr. Kango Fango also believed it. Yes.
Yeah.
I was so surprised. I thought. Anyway, no, these are actually real. These are actually real. So I went to London last year for a couple of days, and it had been quite many years since I was last on the tube, which, by the way, is the name for the London Underground, if you didn't already know. And so, yes. Okay, well, here's the first story. I arrived via train, and I wanted to buy a ticket with which I could use the London transport system. So you can have these tickets which allow you to use basically all city transport within a region for however long you want, so days, weeks, whatever. So that includes buses, the tube, trams, overground, those things. I wanted to buy it, and then then the lady at the counter said that I need to have a photo to be glued into the ticket. It didn't say anything about that online, so then I had to go to a photo booth and actually have my photo taken there, printed out, and then she actually had to cut it out of the paper and then put it in there. That was interesting. So after that, I went down into the tube station. It was crowded, yes. And one thing that I really, really love about subways, the London Tube, is that when you're standing at the platform and you're waiting for a train, what do you think is the first thing that makes you notice that there's a train coming? Guess. No, I want you to guess. What do you think is the first thing that makes you realize there's a train coming in a subway or tube? London?
Wind.
Yeah, you cut out a little. You cut out
right.
a bit there.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'd say the wind.
Exactly, the wind. And the thing about the subways is they're really warm, like hot, on summer.
Oh, there you haven't been in Prague Metro.
So the thing is, when I was there, it was really quite warm, even though it was, I think, autumn, winter, not sure. I think it was winter. You go down there, it's really, really warm, and then you're standing on a crowded platform, and you can just feel this hot gust of wind being pushed out from the train tunnel, out of the portal, and you can feel the wind blowing your hair back as you're sweating because it's so hot down there. And then you start to hear those grinding, moaning sounds of the train approaching. And you see the lights coming around the corner as the train roars into the platform. And yeah, that is just so fun. That is just so fun. So then...
Yeah,
actually,
I can say that this is complete opposite in Prague Metro, in the capital of Czechia. I believe, I don't know which line it was, I think line B, but it was on the metro station called Angel. If there's anyone from Czechia watching, you definitely will know which one it is. But I remember waiting there for the train, and it was quite cold. That was like midsummer, like July, August, and it was quite cold. I would say like around 18 degrees in the station, and when the train came, you got a gust of cold wind.
Oh, I see. The thing is that
I think they overdone it on the AC a little bit.
yeah.
Blimey.
The thing is about the London Tube. A few years back, there was actually actually not a few years back. This happens all the time. People pass out because of heat stroke because it's so hot in the London Underground system.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that one happened. I think that a similar thing happened. I think during a local parade, someone passed out during it as well.
Yeah. Interesting how different these different systems are. Anyway, yes. So the train arrived. The train arrived at the platform, and I could already see there were a lot of people in the train. So the train arrived. The doors beeped, opened, and people literally fell out of the train because they were so cramped in there. Literally, they fell out onto the platform.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I decided to take the next train.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
At that point, I would just rather take a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is
According to Michael McIntyre, English people have an astonishing ability to let people off a train whilst at all times moving forwards. Apparently.
Yeah, so the thing is, I really wanted to go on the subway because I really like going on underground networks, and where I live, there isn't one. So it's been many, many, many years. I think the last time I went on one was like 2010, maybe 9, before last year. So it's almost been 10 years since I had last been on one. So I wanted to go on the network. Plus, I had no idea which bus to take. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I like about living in a small city like mine. It's just like, oh hey, there's this one only bus line going into my city. We have no trams, no metros, no helicopters, no monorails, nothing, only bus.
Yeah, well, where I am, there is a train connection. Well, actually, 2 train connections and buses. And because I live in the UK, we have those lovely double-decker buses. Yes. Bendy buses, bendy buses, not so much. Double-decker buses, lots of them. We've got literally tons of them. I mean, they're buses. Of course, we've got tons of buses. If we have one bus, we've got tons of buses.
And continental Europe is like the perfect opposite. No double-deckers, only bendy.
All the double-deckers.
Exactly. I remember when I first, because I come from Germany originally, so as you can probably tell from my accent, so when I still remember when I first came to the UK, and it was going up into a double-decker bus. It was so strange. It was like going into a 2-story house that moved and going up to the front windows. There was such a unique experience. Sitting at the front of a bus, it almost felt like when the bus was going downhill, it almost felt like the bus was about to topple over forwards. It was such a unique experience.
I can imagine if you're not used to that, it would freak you out.
Yeah. So let me read chat because there's quite a bit of it.
Yes.
Right. My motivation to continue after start en route was the advent calendar on Discord. Ah, yes. Well, that is very nice. That was very nice. 2 funnels, 2 boilers, 2 fireboxes, 2 shovels. Exactly. Ah. Enjoy the calendar a lot, yes. Poor bridge engineers. Bridge engineers sweat profusely, yes.
Yeah.
Was that my sweater?
No, it was by Mr. W.
With me.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Yes, I made a joke that was funny. I know you're surprised.
Fanga.
That's even more cackly than my laugh.
Okay, Kanga Fanga says, no, we don't need to go through this. My bridge is 300% safe. I've got a meeting at 2:30 and I don't want to miss it. The bridge will hold up. Now, if you'll please excuse... No. We'll see about that. Come here, stand on the bridge. Go further. Right there. Stop. Yeah, exactly. Sounds like a punchline. Lol. That is quite the twist. This is the channel Shadow's was referring to. That is, I believe... Yeah, that's probably... well, there's a problem. Nice. Alright, yes. Chris, I did look at that picture of the locomotive. It looks very nice. The New York Central one has the bigger boiler, which is why the funnel is so shortened, so you can fit in tunnels and stuff like that. I think it's got a bigger boiler than that. Mini Metro, yes. Exactly. Interesting. Never knew South America had those. Tell them about Ghost Lady. Well, if you want to know about Ghost Lady, just watch the start of the stream before last stream. By the way, Slovak, did you ever watch the beginning of that stream with the Ghost Lady who started the stream without me? Can you still hear me? No, you can't. Can you?
Yeah. Oh.
Can you still hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
So it's just wait.
Right. So, Slovak Eagle, did you watch the beginning of the stream that had the Ghost Lady start the stream without me?
Yes, I did.
Ah. Great.
And I purposely left no comment there, just to keep you in mystery.
On your toes.
Spooky. Please welcome our host Paradise, Master of Deception. No. You've got me confused with someone. Applause. Oyster card?
Oh,
no.
sorry then.
It was not an Oyster card. Because the Oyster card would have been more expensive for the couple of days that I spent in London. So it was not an Oyster card. Gust of wind. Yes, wind. The tube was crowded, of course. But here's the interesting part. Everyone was silent. It was so strange. Actually, that reminds me... okay, I'll say the story now, then I'll continue reading chat. So, another little interesting story was... Okay, so the London Underground, the tube network, has a reputation for being very confusing. Yes? I'm sure that you probably heard of this. Yes?
Not that.
I can confirm that even looking on the map makes me confused.
Yeah, exactly. So...
Doesn't take a lot, does it, Slovak?
Oh, that is that is an insulting joke.
That's what we do as British people.
Ah, I see. I
got quite used to that.
I must amend my jokes then. So, yes. So, however, there is one line, I think it's the... What's it called? Waterloo and City, I think it's called? Let me just look it up, what it is. London Tube map. London Tube map. Yeah, sure. Come on, couldn't you have posted a bigger image of the map? Is that it? No. Oh, down here, yes. Where is it?
I can confirm the tiny map is very confusing.
Yeah. Bakerloo Central District, Central Circle District, East London, Hammersmith City, Jubilee. Was it Jubilee? May have been Jubilee. No, it was Waterloo and City, yes. Waterloo and City. This one. This is the train. I was in one of these. This is the simplest routes there is. You can see it only has these two stations, I believe. Does it? Only two stations? Either 2 or 3 stations only. And this is the simplest line you've got. It only goes back and forth like this. It's a very short line. Yeah? So
Just made my brain bend.
So the thing is, I went on this line once when I was there in London. So I went on, sat down, and well, this about the tube being silent. There was this woman. This tube train for once was empty. I went in, then well, no, not empty. There were a couple of people in the tube train, like 2 or 3. This woman went in, sat down opposite me, and she was just looking bored out of the window, so I decided to tell a joke. Oh, and the window's just blown shut. I'll have to open that in a second. Yeah, so I said, and people say the London Tube is confusing, and I pointed at the map. Because in the tube trains, they've got the map above the windows of the line you're on, and it only showed those 2 stations. And she just started laughing. That was quite funny.
Brilliant.
Right, hold on for 1 second, because I need to open my window, so I won't be able to hear what you say. However, you warned, this will be archived, so I'll be able to check what you're saying while I'm gone. Haha.
I was fearful of that.
We will all say it. Is he gone? I think he's gone. Subscribe and follow Trainz!
I mean, he's still there in... Oh, no. He's leaving on the stream now, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so 2 things.
But there it is.
1, the window's right there. I literally only needed to stand up to open it. 2, you sounded so disappointed, like, oh. And 2, Mr. W, you shouted so loudly, subscribe, that I could hear it through the headphones, even though I didn't have them on.
Well done, well done.
I love that.
So, Slovak Eagle.
Yes?
I'm doing your favorite activity in Trainz.
You cut off there. Can you repeat?
I am currently doing your favorite activity in Trainz.
Placing trees?
No.
Oh no, bushes. Yeah. I
Bushes,
see.
yes. Bushes.
I'm doing it right now as well, actually.
Oh, you are? Oh, well, there you go.
I'm moving trees around on the Wild West route, moving them off the tracks because, yeah, usually, like, the normal thing you do, just copy-paste the forest and then just clear the tracks. And I've been doing that for the entire duration of this stream.
Oh, well, then you go. There you go. Actually, that reminds me, I hadn't finished reading chat. This is taking quite a while to read, to get through. So...
Good luck.
Thank you. Oyster card, the sound. Gust of wind. Wind, yes. Right, I already read that. The tube was... Right, I already read that. Fun fact, you all didn't know. Brazil was colony of Portugal, country in South Europe. Yes, I did know that. Because actually, Portugal, they gained an empire. Because the thing is, there's an interesting thing. When what was I thinking of?
Portugal.
What? No. The European country, Spain, of course, Spain. When Spain first... I forget the details, but there was a thing when Spain... when they were first exploring South America, some of the coast... there was a deal made with Portugal, that Portugal would get everything west of an arbitrary border along South America, which is how Portugal ended up with an empire. Because back then, they thought that there would be barely anything that side of what they had discovered. Little did they know that they signed over most of South America to Portugal. So, yeah, that's an interesting story. XD, I think I did know, actually. Automatic envoys. This is Edgware Road. Change here for the Hammersmith and City lines and the District line. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Edgware Road. Oh my god, I remember that from World of Subways.
Yes, I did play that as well. Coast of Cold Wind. Yikes. Cost of Cold Wind. Last time I've been on one was in 2016. I see. 2016? Oh, right. No, wait. Oh, right, yes, but that wasn't in London, I think. On mainland Europe. Right, you said it right there, mainland Europe. No helicopters and no monorails. Unacceptable. We pretty much have no metro. And there's a lot of trams and a lot of buses.
On behalf of the lack of transport in my country.
Well, I mean, you should. Where I am, we've got Dennis Darts, Optar Solos, Enviro 400s, Alexander 400s. Slavic Eagle, keeping everyone in mystery since 2020? How many interesting stories does Shardis have? Well, that depends, Sweda. How many interesting stories does Shardis have? Do you count ones that are actually true? Or do you also count made-up ones? If you count also made-up ones, then it's practically limitless. If you count ones that are actually true, then, well, quite a lot, I'd say.
They are limitless.
Shardis.
Yes?
I suggest you create a new channel just called Shardis Stories.
Yeah. Or maybe a disc, or maybe a thing in the in Discord. What is it? What is it called? Like a new.
Those are channels.
A new room?
No, those are channels. That's literally what Slavic Eagle meant.
Channel, right.
Yeah, that was actually suggested.
But you get the idea.
Yeah, that was suggested before.
YouTube channel.
That was suggested before, but the thing is that writing down those stories would take a lot of time, and I'm not on Discord that much. If I were to do a stories thing, then I'd probably do them in the form of YouTube videos, where I would tell the story and then upload that, so that then...
Oh, someone should have clipped that story as well.
So that, well, it is uploaded. The streams are archived, so you can watch it anytime you want. The thing is that...
copy and paste my books on there.
Yeah, the thing is that then if I did it via YouTube, then for one thing, you would have me telling the story, and two, well, you can do stuff while listening to it, which I know a lot of people are busy, and that would be a great boon for them. But that would also take a lot of time. However, it is a thing that I have considered. Shardis, confusing the loo. Actually, I think toilets have never confused me. Kangafango? I know you meant London Underground, I know. The thing is, loo, for those of you non-British, is a British word for toilet. Loo, to go to the loo.
Yes.
Answer, yes. Yeah, Waterloo and City is the shortest, exactly. Wise words. Busted. Me 3. Okay, tree. I live in Spain, but the S is silent. Aww.
Why did you put that in? Why could you not have just said that in the voice chat at least?
He didn't want to disrupt, probably, because I was saying something, so he wanted to stay silent. Because he was being a very considerate friend. So, silent. Oof.
Are you trying to hit on someone like that?
What? No, of course I'm not.
No. I'm surprised you know the phrase "hit on someone."
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I know, but you know how I meant it. Like, are you trying to...
Yes,
I know what you mean.
Hit on someone exactly that?
I know exactly what you mean.
Perfectly well. And once more, I know who he's trying to hit on.
Oof. I've seen that name before. Also, could you not have made that joke in voice chat, he says. That's where the thing is that Slavic Eagle isn't reading chat, he's building in Trainz.
Yes,
that's where I know Edgeware Road from, World of Subways 3. Shardis. By the way, yes, I know exactly what happened, Mr. W. You've of course got the Discord page open, so you just heard the bidding of someone posting something in the Trainz channel, which is the same thing I heard. That is exactly what happened, right?
Oh, yes.
Shardis, no, Sweda asked, how many interesting stories does Shardis have? Don't think I've ever used the word boon before. You've never used the word boon before? Really? Interesting.
Quite a posh word nowadays.
Yeah, but I think it's a very useful one. Haha.
It is, yeah.
Spelled Lou. I know. I have been to Louis before, also pronounced Lou. Shardis, stories, not stories. Oh, stores. Oh, right.
Stores.
How many interesting stores does Shardis have? Oh, I see. You saw it wrong again. I know. I am back from eating pizza. Oh, well, welcome back. I meant stories, but said stores, lol. Okay, so, who wants to say something interesting now?
Me.
Go ahead.
When you were talking about the...
You were so excited!
When you were...
Please, sir.
I know why
when you were
are.
saying, like-
The thing is, I'm talking so much that you were so excited that you had to jump on the opportunity to jump in and say something.
I am literally making notes on the times that Slovaks let out a cackling laugh, so I can rewatch them on the YouTube video.
That's brilliant. Okay. So what I wanted to say is that is not really much important, but when you said like, oh hey, Slovak is not paying attention to the chat, he's working on his route, and I've just posted a screenshot in your server of what I managed to do in 1 hour and 26 minutes of this stream.
Oh, well then let's have a look at it.
You might find it impressive,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Stuff I did.
channel?
Okay, so here we go. But posted by Slovak Eagle. Stuff I did in 1 hour and 26 minutes of the stream. LOL.
Sounds like
Oh,
Alexa then.
yes. Well, that is impressive. Looks quite good. Yes, it's very nice.
What-
I'll be
Which channel
honest.
did you put it in?
In Trainz
In
screenshots.
yeah. I'll be honest.
Which one?
The copy pasting of trees took like 5 minutes to do. The moving of the trees took the rest.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, go again.
Right, so I don't want this to turn into a Discord stream, so
Obviously.
let me just move this over to the side.
Oh yeah. My word.
Let's let Twitter have that last message he's typing. How are you doing? Okay. The answer is good. This is a lot of fun. And surprisingly, I'm not feeling as distracted as I thought I would.
Yeah, you're getting quite a bit of stuff done, ain't you?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I am. However, that's all about to change because I'm about to read chat again.
Oh boy.
Well, goodbye, productivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not that much there.
It was nice seeing
That's
you.
nice. Interesting. Or you can just clip it. Boom da la caca. Interesting. Hello, stream. Pff, Twitter, how are you doing? Gets pushed away. We are distracting shadows all the time. Lol. Well. So. Right. It's quite strange to have it be this silent.
Silence. 100.
Some might say, hello silence, my old friend.
If you play silence at
Darkness.
full volume, is it loud?
Well,
Well, that's like a question that I've often asked myself.
no.
If you were sort of constantly falling,
Yeah.
would you eventually sort of get used to it? And would it feel normal?
The answer is yes.
Probably.
The answer is yes, you would. Also, hello,
Your hair
Swidar.
would
Welcome
grow
to voice
faster.
chat. Welcome to voice chat, Swidar. Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
You're famous.
Hello, Svidar.
Hello.
Long time no hear.
True.
So, yeah, about the thing about falling for a long time. Yes, I think you would get used to it. Because the reason why it feels strange is because you're not used to it, and if it happens for a long time, then yeah, I think you would get used to it. That's interesting. Also, about if you play silence at full volume, yeah, it's basically 0 multiplied by whatever number the volume is. Even if you multiply it by infinity, you'd still get 0.
Nope.
Bye, Swidar. I
And he's
guess.
gone.
Oh, Sweeter's left.
Well, he literally
Sweater,
dropped
he
by
said.
to say
Sweater
hello.
was his fault, so.
Usually that's only figuratively meant. Right. Hello, lol, true. How does one push someone away? Well, first things first, you stick your nose up at them, and then you talk with your mouth being closed a bit. So you talk like this, And in this case, then you can use very posh terms and words and speak in a very, very annoying way. And then you have essentially
them away with your
poshed someone
pinky
away. Right?
And you push them away with your pinky finger. You just
Exactly. I learned to talk like that actually in a
my word.
youth theatre thing where we did a thing on voices, and that was one of the things that we did. We only spent a couple minutes on it, but I remembered what I learned there. So that's actually right. So Trainz, check intro misc.
I've done it. Don't worry. It's nothing really that important.
Is it something okay to show on stream?
It is a meme of the like a boom bala akaka a boomba I can't
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Boom-kalaka.
Yeah, in that case, I'm not really going to show
It's
it.
not inappropriate as far
Yeah,
as I know.
But I'm not
Like,
going
it's
to.
not rude. It's not rude.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I
thanks.
don't blame you for not showing it.
Yeah. Sorry, by the way. I'll do it. Does one do that by just being so posh all the time that they act as a people deterrent? Yes, exactly.
Work. But people. It's like if you stink so much, there's an aura around you. And
Yes.
the people don't get close to near to you. It's like that with posh. There's an aura of posh around you, an aura of snob.
You would really need to make that an alignment in D&D. You've got lawful, good,
Posh, yeah.
evil, chaotic, and posh. You could be posh neutral.
Posh and what's the opposite? Posh and what's the opposite? Oh,
I guess
what's the opposite? Hang on.
down to
Google.
earth, maybe?
Today on Shared Dice Tutorials, how to deter people from your life.
Yeah,
Step 1.
and to be posh. Oh, gosh. Can you actually hear
The keyboard? Yes.
the keyboard?
Yes.
Well, I've got poor, lower class, inferior.
Well, that's more of
Stylish,
social
unfashionable,
status.
destitute,
That's more
intellect, old-fashioned. Yeah,
that's more social status, not really the way of speaking.
yeah. Opposite of posh accent, maybe.
More maybe speech.
Posh.
Oh, I'm using the wrong tool. That's why.
Oh, wait, not that one. Opposite of posh. Hang on. They seem to be either modest or simple, but
Yeah, I would say that those are
rough,
probably true.
that would work. Rough.
Doesn't necessarily like. Okay, so for example, would you say that I'm talking rough right now? Am I talking rough? I wouldn't say so, but I'm also
I would
not
say
being
you're
posh.
neutral.
Yeah, but I'm also not being posh. So I think that simple or common, I guess, would be a good translation.
Yeah.
I must stay here, yes, because sometimes you are cutting out a lot in voice chat. I am? Oh, that's...
Yeah, you do cut out a little bit.
That's not...
I would say that's either because, I don't know, like lag from the computer or internet lag, or possibly could also be that in your voice settings on Discord you have the cutoff set too high, so when you speak
I'll
you know
check
how
that.
you start speaking,
Yeah.
it's certain volume,
I'll
stuff
check
like
it.
that. You know
I'll
what
check
I mean.
it. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'll check that voice and video. Volume output. Where is it?
In the meantime, I guess, I mean, I can say this,
Oh,
that
is it input
you
sensitivity?
know the new, that should be it.
There we go. Now I should be cutting off less than before. Is it better now?
It should be.
Is it much better now? Can you still
Yeah.
hear me when I talk
Yes,
like this?
definitely a lot
yeah.
better. Yep.
It was
There we go.
only now and again though.
It was only sometimes, anyways, but it's much better now.
Yeah.
But so yeah. what I was saying, you know the metro that I just released
Mm-hmm.
for SP2.
Yeah.
I can officially say that the test has been successful with 5 people online at the same time, 4 of them driving, 1 being a dispatcher. So the new feature that I worked on, I shown that on my stream,
Yes.
is working correctly in multiplayer,
That's very exciting.
and because of that, Eagle County is gonna have an update released in the next 48 hours,
Ooh.
which also includes this feature.
Very nice.
So yeah, bigger scale, more players. It's gonna be interesting.
Hopefully, I'll be able to play with that whenever. Hopefully, I'll be able to update to Service Pack 2 by then. Is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, we're gonna be playing more often anyway, so it doesn't really matter when you join, but it would be still nice for you to join.
Yeah, it would. So let me finish reading chat. 5 hours later. Hey, Zoe. No, not you, Mr. W. Shadows. So I will stay here for voice chat. For voice chat, boys. Yeah, I just came to say hello. Stays for 52 hours. By the way, when I'm reading out a number like that, when there's a little pause in what I'm saying, it's because I'm trying to figure out which way around the numbers go. Because in German, you read them from right to left. Those two, so you would say 25 or 2 and 50, not 52. Which is okay. It's like I'm saying to myself, okay, am I speaking in German or English? Okay, I'm speaking in English. Does that mean okay? I need to not invert it, right? And then I say it. So if there's a little delay there, that's why. I should get going now. Oh, I wish you could stay. I know it's only a quote. It's fine. More like people repellent. Chaotic posh? Yes. True, I guess. Trainz route looks lovely. Thank you very much. Boosh. Polite, I suppose. Me and him are 2 separate entities. Oh, right, the bot. You're speaking as the bot again. I see. I'm going to go grab something. Be right back. The wig cutting. Oh, right. Cutting out is
scarily
right now.
convincing.
What? That's what?
Scarily convincing.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Scarily convincing.
You then.
Please don't do that.
Okay, I won't. It's fine. Alright, we've got Fanbot 3502 again. Hello. Eagle the salesman. Was about to say that. Nice. Right. Called it. Says Mr. W. Yes, Livigan?
When you were talking about the numbers and inverting them around, I would say that people from Czech Republic also would have this problem because they also say the numbers around, but only some of them.
Yeah. That is interesting.
What determines whether you set the other way around or not?
So basically, the numbers in tens, like 10 to 99, they say from the back, but 100 and above, they say it from the front.
So does that include the only the 100th digit? So would you still say? So would you say
it
100?
All.
So the entire number.
Yes, the entire number they take from front in the hundreds and above.
Oh.
But when it's the tens, they take the entire number from back.
Well, that is.
It's weird.
Interesting.
I do know that as I learned Spanish at school. I do know that say if you had a red shirt in Spanish, if you were to literally translate the Spanish for that back into English, it would be shirt red. You have adjective and then you have a noun and then an adjective. I think that's like that in a couple of languages, like Japanese. I think also does it.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
We literally said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess we both find it interesting.
Yeah. So. Right. Okay. Call it, I wish you could stay. Right. Oh, I can hear a rapper. Or something like that.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's me. That's what I went to get.
Ah.
You're stealing snacks from the fridge.
I'm not stealing them. They were Christmas presents, thank you very much.
Well, that...
Okay, fair
Well,
enough.
actually, that doesn't make you not steal them necessarily. Those two aren't mutually exclusive. If you got given something as a Christmas
my
present,
Christmas
and then somebody else takes it from you, they call the police and say, oh no, it's not stealing. You see, he got it as a Christmas present, so it's okay for me to take it.
Which is why I said immediately after that it was my Christmas present.
Yeah.
Good.
You either refused to hear it or didn't hear it.
No, I did hear it, but I wanted to finish my sentence.
Yes, I know.
Baby, it's cold outside. Yes,
Sweet-
that is exactly the
Sweetheart,
song.
You are
That is
stealing them from the fridge.
Sweetheart Gaming, that is exactly the same song. I wish you could stay. I've got.
Well, I suppose the
baby, it's
musician will
cold
know his songs.
outside.
Mm-hmm.
Da-dun,
Jimmy
da-dun,
Jones,
dun, da-dun, dun. Da-dun, 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 dum. Da-dun, 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 dum. That is such a nice song. Such a wholesome song. Especially from the movie, because it's actually from a movie, that song. I forget what it's called. Something about swimsuits, I think? The title's strange. The title is strange. I forget what it's called. Yep.
I think something about swimsuits
Yeah,
works as a title anyway.
Yes, something about swimsuits in the titles. If there is a swimsuit, I instantly have to think of anime. I'm sorry.
Oh, right.
Nah. Are you stealing them from the
I-
fridge? Says Will Gaming.
I have no comment on that.
And there's actually a Doctor Who version of that song where they changed the lyrics to fit Doctor Who, where instead of just the romantic partner having to go away for the night to go home, it's the Doctor who has to regenerate and the companions don't want him to regenerate. It's actually really, really nice. I wish that song was a bit longer though. So, I've got to regenerate. It's time to run and remember. Come on, I'll just get the door. And it's really nice. It's really nice.
It's such a nice and good, satisfying feeling when you clear the tracks of all the trees.
Yes, you're right. It is. It almost feels
But I
like...
still haven't reached that.
Well, then you've got something to look forward to.
Yes.
Neptune's
Presumably, it
daughter...
can't be.
Neptune's daughter.
Presumably, it can't be as pleasant if you're actually physically doing it.
That. So, the thing that Kango Fango posted in chat, the link... That is the link to the Doctor Who version of that song. It's brilliant.
It's cold outside.
If you're at all interested in music, and you like that song, or Doctor Who, I should say, I would strongly suggest you have a look at that.
I think I'm more of a Red Dwarf person.
Mm-hmm. What about this? Is it Neptune's daughter? Sweeter called it. Ah, that's it. Oh, it is Neptune's daughter. Then what was the... Was it just about swimsuits, then? Or was that the German title? Might have been the German title for it. Sorry.
Might have been the German title because, yeah, the German titles are like quite interesting when it comes to naming, because even with movies, I've noticed they just name them what's actually the movie about rather than the American name
Yes.
style, you know?
However, it is quite annoying because sometimes the name doesn't reflect the actual thing that's in the movie at all. In some cases, the German dubbed version is something that sounds just so stupid. Something that you would never buy a DVD for to watch that. Whereas the original title is like, oh, I wonder what that's about. Yeah. Or maybe it's just because I'm not a... what I would think of as a typical German individual. That's your turn, I think. Shad Eyes. It is. Not it is. Oh, it is. Not it. Not is it. Alright. Charades. It was about swimsuits. Yes, it was. Neptune, god of water. There is also a newer version of this song by Michael
Bublé. Michael Bublé.
I believe. Bruh. I have a CD of mythology. I love my stuff. I know my stuff,
Bruh.
not I love my stuff. Yeah. Yes, but I like
Oh, that's it.
I like pronouncing it as bruh because that's how it's spelled. I know it's actually bruh, but bruh,
Well,
bruh.
from the means, it's something like breh. Like B-R-E.
If I were to say it, if I were to say it in Slovak, it would just come out as bruh.
Well, to be honest, that sounds quite good actually. Bruh, bruh. That sounds quite good. Better than bruh. Anyway.
Yes.
Right, so what's still there? Charades, you're right about that. I have no idea what you mean, but thank you. German dubbed versions. Oh, right, that, yes. Not always the best. That bruh. Write that down, write that down, write that down. Scribble, scribble. Not really. What are you saying, Mr. W? I couldn't hear.
I was just talking to the game like I do.
Oh, I see.
Don't mind me.
Dun, 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 dun.
Talking about dubbing in movies,
Yes.
I don't know like how many countries like they all in old times they just like dubbed over the already existing audio without like removing the voices
Yes.
that have been there. I'm not sure how many countries or like TV studios do it at this time, but I know that literally the entirety of Poland still does that to this day in all modern movies, in everything.
Well, actually, I think that may not be such a bad idea, because then you at least know how accurate the voices sound to the original, even if you don't understand what they're saying.
True. That's true enough.
Yeah, but it's kind of annoying when you can
It
hear
is.
the same person dub every single character in the movie
Yeah.
at the same volume of the movie itself.
Oh, right. So it's actually just one individual who's dubbing over everything.
That's odd.
Yes.
Ah, I
I've
can
gotta
see how
say,
that would be annoying.
I have been to Poland and I didn't notice that.
Did you watch any movies that were dubbed into Polish when you were there?
No, but we
Well,
had a
then that's-
music channel on, but it did seem to play. But it did seem to have music in English on.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I mean, music channels obviously don't, but I mean, when I was staying in Poland, I was quite close to like the Slovak border, but was still, like, the hotel had only Polish channels on the TV, and every single time we just watched something, you could hear that, hey, the show was originally from Germany, or like the movie was American, but it was the same guy unenthusiastically just saying every single translated sentence, just without any emotion or character, just blindly just. And now I'm going to put this in here, and he is going to just.
I'm so excited.
That sounds
Yeah, I think
so
a
annoying.
story similar to that. I think a story similar to that. I think it was in India. It was like no, not India. It was like I think it was maybe like might have been Nigeria, but it was like the first time that any sort of
You're right,
Western
Mr. W.
influence had come over. They were brought over by this one particular person. Brought over, quite a few movies. But she dubbed over all of them herself, making no distinctions. And there was actually a film about it, because some of the films that were brought over were called Chuck Norris films. Were Chuck Norris films, and so the film that was made about it is called Chuck Norris versus Communism, which I think is quite nice.
In case of emergency, call 1-800-PVR-rail. Report crossing number and location. Crossing number 21973, location MP22.6.
How can you read that?
I've got a retina monitor. This stream is running at a lower resolution than I've got here.
Oh, those crossbacks. Yeah, I've been able to read it as well. Yeah, can confirm it is readable.
Scribble? Crabble? Scrabble? Interesting. Yeah, I got that. Shard Ice. Ha! Right now it looks like the Trainz tools are part of Discord. XD? You're right. The menu's on the right. Shard Ice. Gotta reskin that to say MVR instead of PVG. I think it's fine. Good luck! Exclamation mark. Right. So, what do you think of how this is turning out so far?
It looks really nice.
Definitely. Can I drive it?
Well, it's...
Let me have a go.
The thing is, it's a root. I think you're gonna have a pretty tough time actually getting it to drive. I'm not sure that the root has any wheels or motor. But if you wanted to drive
I'm
on
gonna
it...
make it some.
God damn it.
Not at the moment. Not at
Done
the
it
moment.
so many times yet we never see them coming.
All you've got to do is constantly scan...
I've known you. I've known you for how long?
Too long.
I think...
Like 4 years?
I think about closer to 5 years. Closer to 5 years.
And I still never see them coming.
Well, basically, all you have to do is scan every single sentence everybody says for any opportunity to take the words in a way that they weren't meant to be taken in, which would, however, still make logical sense. And then the likelihood is that I'll point that opportunity out.
I think you must be part cyborg. Well, no, part robot, rather.
No, I am not. No, I am not.
There we go.
Yeah. Right, so, field.
I'm going to say part cyborg. That's like quarter robot.
Hang on, I need to open the thing again, the window, because it's shut again.
Oh, here we go again. I know what's going to happen now. Oh, no.
Follow and subscribe, Mr. Paradise.
Here we go.
I said I just need to stand
The
up
Wild
to
West.
open the window. Yes, I did put my headphones
know.
down.
He doesn't care. Do you really think he
know.
cares?
No, he does care, otherwise he wouldn't have said anything.
Any chance he will take any chance he can to shamelessly promote you. Surely you know that.
And I'm not getting paid for it anyways. So,
No,
free work?
it's a win-win.
Yes.
Why win-win? What does Slovak Eagle win from it?
You're
I get to talk with my favorite streamer?
Yeah,
Ah,
there you
I
go.
see.
And your affection.
That's a win, I guess.
Yeah, because the only reason why I'm talking to you at all is because I want you to shout me out. Yes,
At least you admitted it.
Yes, because you said what you get from it is you get to talk to your favorite streamer, as if you wouldn't be able to do that otherwise.
We know what you plan to do. You plan to shun him the moment he stops sucking up to you. We know that.
Well,
Oh dear.
That's what you said.
I don't know.
right. So,
You guys will hate me for this.
are you going to say that the stream time's over?
No, but now you said it, so I'm gonna say it as well. But yeah, the stream time's over, and I just literally found a painted Easter egg in Trainz, and I'm gonna use it.
Oh,
Aha. Great. So yes, the stream time is over, unfortunately. 2 hours are gone. Doesn't feel like it, does it?
Nah, definitely not. Mainly with this much fun.
Yeah, you're right. So, I just want to finish this field. It will not take long.
no, he's going to shout you out, Slovak.
I am.
I can shout myself out.
Well, I mean, if you want to, that would make it a lot easier. I mean, you can do that right now if you want. Go ahead, do it.
Nah. Nah, I'm not gonna take you the pleasure of doing that.
Haha.
Using yelling to yeet yourself out of the room.
No.
By the way, I have a question. It's a somewhat unrelated question. What are your thoughts on the Orion project?
I don't know what that is.
I've said it before.
You did?
Are you looking it up? You don't need to. I'm going to say it.
Oh. Okay. Please tell me.
It is a.
Can we just redo? That's two things that Sourdice has said that you've forgotten something about.
Yeah, I tend to forget a lot. My memory is not the greatest.
So the Orion project is a prototype propulsion system for rockets, which has an array of mini nuclear bombs inside of its chassis, basically, and then underneath it has springs attached to a lead disc. Now, in the lead disc is a hole. The nuclear bombs drop out of the vessel through the hole in the lead disc and then detonate. The lead disc then gets pushed up, compressing the springs, pushing the spacecraft forwards, or upwards, I guess. And that is the Orion project. There were some prototypes built, but when the nuclear testing ban went into action, that project got halted. What are your thoughts on the concept as a whole? Not necessarily of how clean it is or how dangerous it is, but just the project as a whole.
I suppose what it's trying to do is good. The potential consequences of it make it, make it perhaps not a risk worth taking.
Well, it is definitely radioactive. The thing is, it would only really be used outside of the atmosphere in space, where the radiation that comes from the drive would get soaked up by the ozone layer.
Okay, then let's be real here. If it was looking for, if it was looking from a military standpoint, then hey, carpet bombing nukes, why not? If it was looking from a normal point of view of a human being, yeah, hey, cool, we can space explore, I guess.
Interesting. Can I rename this? No. So that was so strange. It had a nameplate, but I can't remember. So I want to put this flags top in here. So what's a good name for a flags top? Also, do you need me to explain what a flags top is?
Yes.
A flags top is basically a request stop, where trains usually don't stop, but if there are people there to pick up, then the train will stop to pick them up. Also, you can tell the conductor of the train ahead of time when you board that you want to get off at that flag stop to make the train stop there. It's basically a bus stop, only for trains.
The he or her?
What do you say? The name for it?
Is it a he or a her?
Okay, let me check. Actually, no, before I check, this may not be PG. I need to quickly switch over. Okay, it is definitely a he. It is definitely a he.
Timothy.
Okay. Let's
Timothy.
do...
I vote Timothy. But Swadar has suggested Cnago. I don't know how you pronounce that, but... Snago.
Knago. Knago.
Hang on, that's an anagram of... Hang on, that's an anagram of Kango.
Exactly.
It's trying to be.
I think that... Okay, I'm gonna go for Knago. That sounds funny. So, Knago. Let's just do Knago halt. Right, so...
Knago, halt!
If you said that in a German accent, that would be quite offensive to some people. Not me, obviously, but some people...
Is it a curse in
No,
German?
but just the way you said it. Knago, halt. If you said it in a German accent, it could easily remind people of a certain political group who were in power in the 30s and 40s.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't realise that had the potential to be.
No, just the way that you said it. It sounded so authoritative, which is a thing that gets attributed to them quite easily. Right.
I guess what I imagined when you mentioned that was something definitely not anything that could be associated with it, but the way you would say it would definitely yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up.
Oh, it's okay. Right. So I need to. Okay, you're gonna get a sneak preview of my super duper top secret route that Slovak Eagle also already knows about.
Hang on a second. Nope.
The window is closed again. 1 second.
So no. This time follow me.
It's a storm out there.
Ooh, windy. And rainy.
Yeah, same here. Raj.
I'm back.
Funny thing is, it should have been snowing in Slovakia like several weeks and months and whatnot ago, but guess not.
Okay, let me quickly read chat. Very quickly. Shadace, all you've got to do is constantly scam. There is no logic in loghi. Oh no. Shadabot. Good thing it isn't a Kai Win. Ah, exactly, yes. Do you know who Kai Win is?
No.
Kai Win is a character from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. A religious fanatic who is very unpleasant. Which is interesting because DS9 actually handles religion very, very well and very respectfully. But yes. She's played by the actress who played the nurse in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I think the film's called.
Ooh.
And you could put the Easter egg in the actual Easter eggs title. Ah, Shadis, please extend it for a bit. Okay. Oh, hello there. Welcome back. JVAR XXN. Bring it to 15 past. 15 past? Okay. Would be so nice. The whole. I mean, we only got 5 minutes to go. Then it'll already be extended to 15 past. I mean, the hole is kind of needed for the bombs to drop out. So, good? Helpful? Guess I'll have to go with that. It's needed. Yeah. Alright, we've got that. Yamdale. Or extend till 30 past, your call. Well, we'll see what we're at 15 past. OMG, darn, my brilliance was spotted. Yes.
My brilliance in the... Oh, for God's sake. My brilliance in the meantime built the most laggiest place on the route and even on the wrong location.
Great brilliance there. Shadais, will you make the following sentence the channel catchphrase? And remember, guys, I always see you when you're sleeping, and I always sees when you're awake. No, that would be not creepy enough. Shadais, huh? Thanks for the naming, by the way. So gaming again, Shadais. Shadais, read chat before closing trains. I have. Thanks. XDDD. The turntables. I'm not using a turntable at the moment. No snow here either. I switched headset to a wired headset. Oh, I see. Shadais, because you said as a whole with the propulsion system. Oh, right. Yes. So, now I can hear everything. Great. I also changed my cutoff. I had no idea that's what that setting did. So, this is the super duper top secret railway. It's the Maxford Interurban Railway. Railway. When I look at it, it is set in Iowa.
Oh wow.
in the 30s/40s. And once it loads, I'm basically only loading in because I want to get the station asset that I've used here.
Back in a bit.
Oh, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it.
Oh, no. No, it's fine. A bit.
Okay, so this is basically it. I want to make an interurban one with basically a lot of street running with freight and passenger, that sort of thing. So like this. Yeah. And
If it crashes now.
the only thing is that this is the only streetcar which I found which had the correct pantograph height or trolley pole height, and it's such low quality. The windows, look at the windows. There's just tinted white, and the cab itself is just black.
Right.
If you go into cab mode, it's literally only black with a hole cut out in front. Plus, it also has really low. It's very unrealistic to drive. So, when I finish this, I will likely have to make my own thing for it, which again I have no idea of how to get it from Blender into Trainz. Anyway, yes, there are a lot of details here in on this map already. So anyway, I don't want to show you too much of it, but I guess I'll show you anyway. So yeah, it kind of just goes over here, and then it goes up this hill here, and we've got a little yard area over here. I know it's quite laggy, nothing I can do about that, sorry. There's a little yard area there, little industry over here. Yes. And
I've expanded it.
Yes, I have. And over here,
Really nice.
over here is where the sort of more single house area begins. And you can tell I've already planned it out a bit more. Yes. Also, this park is very nice. I especially like the tennis court in the middle. However, do you want me to show you a secret about the tennis court?
Please. Yes.
No,
Okay.
no.
Well,
don't.
then avert your eyes for a little
We'll just cover
while.
your eyes then.
So, if
Okay.
if I turn it to nighttime, look at this. It'll take a little while to load. Just zoom out and back in again for it to load. There.
For the glitching.
No, just look at it. That's what it looks like at night.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so strange. It is so very strange.
Looks like it looks like a tennis racket.
Yeah, it does. Someone else also said that. Anyway, I don't really want to spend that much time on this map because it is, well, not that secret anymore, I guess.
Super secret.
But yeah. So I wanted to get these stops here, the AJS tram stop compact, because I want to use that for the flag stop. So yes, I'm gonna extend it to 30 past because otherwise we'd have to quit now. And I basically haven't done anything in the time. So thank you very much for the extension. Yes. So here we go. By the way, has anyone got anything interesting to say?
I discovered a new song a couple days ago.
Oh. What song is it, if you do not mind me asking?
The song is by a band called Mother Mother. The song's called It's All Right. I can put it in the Discord if you want.
Yeah, if you'd like. I guess that would be alright. Get the joke?
Okay.
No.
Right, so departing passengers per hour, maybe, oh, I don't know, maybe 4. Initial number of passengers 1. Height, can I set that down to 0, hopefully? How far up does this go? There we go, 0. That's good. Just sort of like this, as a flag stop. Oh, I need to rename it as well. Right. So, shall we run something down here?
I mean, that's up to you.
I think we should.
I wonder what.
Well, I haven't found any sugarcane cars yet. So I'll guess just some box cars.
Kangaroo Vanga's put Paradise makes joke. Mr. W growls.
Well, it is kind of realistic.
Yeah, I mean, prepare for a weird boast, but I would say I can do a pretty good growl.
Yeah, I think so too.
You heard me. You heard me growl. That's such a weird question. But
Yes, I have. I have heard
have
you.
you? Oh,
Yes, in roleplay stuff
Oh.
and in the theater stuff.
yes. I remember in what context the theatre stuff happened.
So how about this for our consist? Actually, well, yeah, sure. No. I want
Just
to
put some stuff back where it belongs. I'll be right back.
tell you what. I'm deleting this one, and I want to use this the camelback. I want to use the camelback.
Okay.
I've got one up here. Well, let's do a little tiny bit of switching as well. So let's try it like this. Wrong train. Wrong train number 2. Correct train. The junctions are set correctly, that's good. Oh, I hear you whistling. Right,
Yeah, that was intentional.
good. Right, so where is it? Session options. Let's make it early morning, like this. Well, maybe a little bit less. Like this. That should be nice. Yeah, I mean, this just looks so nice, doesn't it? With the light and the signal box and the fields and trees and all of it.
I like it a lot.
I'm glad. So, here we go. And the bell is actually animated, as you can see.
Oh, that's cute.
But it has this interior. So, not exactly accurate, but you're most likely going to drive it from the outside anyway. I can't wait to start making sessions on this map.
Understandable.
Oh, that reminds me, I still need to put the frogs in all of these junctions. I still haven't done that. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. You have 7 people watching and 10 in the chat.
That's interesting.
Welcome to Twitch.
Thanks. I'm new here. Come on, a little bit more power. A little bit more power. And there you go. Right. Actually, does the caboose have an interior? No, it doesn't. Ah, that's a pity. I do like cabooses that have interiors. Cabooses? Caboose-i? What is the plural of caboose? Is it cabooses?
Cabooses, yeah.
It would look better if the trees also had shadows, for me. Also, one moment. Let me turn on post-processing again. Or maybe not. No. Do not. I wanted to... No. I wanted to turn it on because of sunshafts, but no, I regret it. Because it's immediately started lagging a lot. There we go. That is so much smoother. Well, that was
A lag demon into the house.
yeah. I do like this loco a lot.
It does look very nice,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It's a cute logo.
Yes, it is a switching locomotive or a maple leafing locomotive, if that makes it clearer. Even in America, even the shunting locomotives have tenders. That is.
They just have to make everything big, don't they?
Welcome to America.
Hello,
Hello.
that's
yes.
Sarsen.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
By the way, yes, if you are younger than 13, I'm sorry, but you have to leave the voice call because of regulations. Right, 15, I can accelerate to 35. Oh, this looks so nice. Does that substation look okay?
From electrical standpoint, definitely not. From scenery standpoint, it needs a fence and few bushes.
Yeah, you're right. I have no idea how to make it look better from an electrical point of view. That's the thing.
You can't. There aren't any assets.
Actually, this might be a good time to get a thumbnail.
Hey.
Because that's a thing I
Oh yeah,
want to
definitely.
do.
If any loco is a good loco to get a thumbnail with, that is the right shot.
Well,
the right loco.
most locos. Something like this should be good, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I only recently learned how to take a screenshot on my laptop.
Oh. I can tell you how to do it on Mac.
Yeah. I think it was something like Control Alt P print screen. I think it's on my one or something like that.
Now, can I stop in time?
Age-old question. Smush the trains and the cart together. Wagon. Is it that?
In America, it's cars. In Britain, it's wagons. And yes, I stopped. Good. I may have slightly ruined the locomotive in the process because I slammed it into reverse, but it stopped.
Oh god.
Hey, anything that stops you is good.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you just saw me stopping.
Yes. What would happen if you did go off into the void?
You can't, unfortunately.
You will become part of it.
The thing is, I mean, I can show you. If okay, look here. If a train derails in Trainz, then you can see it just stops and teleports onto the ground and freezes there like this.
Oh,
Trains used to have physics in Trainz,
there we go.
but then
That's all.
they got rid of them. So now it just looks like this.
Right.
Yeah,
think
not
I've
ideal.
Yeah.
Hmm?
The derailing in Trainz basically worked with a completely separate game engine. The game had two game engines, one for normal driving, the other for derailing. And when they redid the game engine for Trainz: A New Era, they just didn't include the derailing because well, it
Wow.
wasn't important, and it still isn't important. Let's be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, although,
I suppose if you put a cool derail, I suppose if you have a good derail engine, then it'll just make people more curious to see what it looks like and make them more inclined to derail.
yeah, although there are two things with that. One is that there was quite a few films made with Trainz, like short films.
Oh wow!
Yeah, basically, yeah. Mostly Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, where they also simulated the derailing with older versions of Trainz, which you can't do now, unless you use Invisible Track. If you use Invisible Track, then yes, you can still simulate derailing. But because what will happen instead is that the train will just basically drive on tracks that are invisible, hence Invisible Track. Maybe I will remove these sound objects if they do not sound good with the locos I want to run on this. But for now, I'm placing them on the crossings.
The force horns.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say those were?
Basically force AI trains to sound their horn.
Ah,
Force horn sounds like a thing from Star Wars. A thing that musicians use. Like
it
if
made
you
me
want,
think of the force.
like you could use it. You could use it if you want to play a romantic song, but you also want to dance with your love interest. So then you could use the force horn while you dance.
Made me think of the Forsworn, which is a faction in Skyrim.
Right, that's the end of the stream. That's definitely it. So,
Sad noises.
so I'll quickly chat, and then I'll end. There is a lot of chat there. Why is there so much?
You haven't been reading for a long time.
We are popular.
Yes.
Oh, good gracious. I knew you.
I mean,
This will be fun.
do you want to get rid of people?
I
Just
mean,
say.
I may need to apply some of that people repellent myself.
Maybe
was
only
it?
read the bits that are important.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well,
No, sweetheart, no. He's putting more messages.
I
in,
know.
no.
Alright, there we are. Now I can hear everything. Oh, wonder who came up with the name of that route. Brilliant name, I've got to say. M&M? Shadays, steeple cabs and streetcars galore. M&M? Where does the second M come from, Switter? Milton and Max something. Maxford. Yes, Maxford. But yes, you're right. Ah, yes. Shadays. The freelance trolley coach looked much better in TS2. That is true. There are some other trolley cars for Trainz, but the pantographs in those are just too low for the catenary I'm using. I just made a multiplayer for Trainz 2019 Kickstarter Counter 2 that is called Paradise No. 1 Fan LOL. Is the LOL included in that name? Otherwise, there may be confusion. You really need to specify. Train Simulator 2 equals TRS 12. Just 12, yes. Wait, I love that hedge. I want it, please. Hedge? Sure. That'll be $55, please. Or pounds, I will take either. Shadays, night! Yes, good night! I know what you mean. Make it night. Spooky. Nah. Shadows, haha. Shadows, imagine if the acid got fixed and it didn't glow. That would be good, actually. Alien tennis cord, lol. Shadows, I already did. In chat. I got it. Makes... right, here, this is the one. Shadows, makes joke. Mr. W. What hedge? On Maxford. Yes. That looks super nice. Oh, right. Do you want to know what it's called? Because I can quickly show you. It'll only take a second. I'll quickly show you what it's called. I know we've gone past the time. I'll make it quick. I'll make it quick. Someone play action music, but with their voice, so there are no copyright issues. That's just the Mission Impossible tune. By the way, have you ever watched the Mission Impossible TV series, Mr. W? Also, this is
I've
the
not
asset.
watched any of the Mission Impossible.
Ah, I see. So, Swedar Gaming, announcement for Swedar Gaming. Swedar Gaming. The hedge
Listen
you
up
are
now.
looking for. I'll actually just type it in chat. The KYD.
Hedge you're looking for.
KYD 260850 37011 60850 60850 370. There we go. That is the KYD of that
There you go.
hedge.
Your hedge.
Right. Yes, looks super nice. Is
Never
it
thought they'd
just
say
me,
that.
or do the voice chat streams contain much more laughter than the non-voice chat ones do? They're just a bit more fun. No offense, of course. Well, I think so. What do the other voice chat people think? Do you think the voice chat streams contain more laughter than the other
Oh,
ones?
still there.
Yes, I am. Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry.
Oh.
Now I am back.
Welcome back.
That's why you weren't
Paranoid now.
responding? Because I started Trainz again. So, Kango Fango, do you think Kango Fango's right that the voice chat streams contain much more laughter than usual?
I would say so, yeah. Well, at least we can hear each other's laughter.
Yeah. Yes,
I mean, we
very.
can always hear yours. But...
Yeah. Yes, very, very convincing. Shadows, sugarcane wagons. Yeah, I don't have any. Not that I know of, anyway. Come
I swear I
come
don't
back.
have any.
Fairbanks Morris, but I trusted you. Ah. Shadows, correct train number 1. I don't know. Correct Traon number 1 train. Let's set the weather to early almond. Perfect weather. I concur. Animated bells are the best. No, it's a legacy UP big boys cab. Yeah, big boy cab for small boy. Yeah, I've got a lot of session ideas, but I've never made a single one because none of my routes get finished. Well, get feedback. Get feedback from Discord. You can post screenshots on your route if you are not happy with a certain part of it. Post them in my Discord channel, and I'm sure people will give great feedback. Well, maybe someday. Caboocities or Octopodes, like Octopodes. Octopodes. Yes, maybe.
I've always heard octopodes.
Yeah, that's the thing. With octopuses, octopi is actually wrong. It's either octopuses or octopodes. Octopodes. Shadows, maybe put post-processing in the middle setting? Nah, it's fine. The window's closed again. Right. You have to also not use Discord as it is breaking the TOS. Indeed. That is right. Wrong horn code for the X thing. I know. Looks good, I think. Looks good, I think. Well, if you only think it looks good, then it doesn't look good. You can use it if you are 13 and under the parental supervision. Apparently. Looks so nice. Looks good, yeah. Trace, do you think the jet sled A23 will ever be included in one of your thumbnails? Perhaps. Stop in time. Stop in time or step in time from Mary Poppins. Windows key plus shift plus S. Shadows. Shadows, stop in time. Shadows, stop in time. Everybody stop in time. Shadows, hey, stop us in time.
Did you know that the author of the Mary Poppins book, of the original book, she hated the film?
I did not know that.
Yeah, she really disliked the film.
To any of you who remember the days of red exclamation marks instead of the yellow X's, raise your hands. Slovak Eagle, are you raising your hand?
Should I?
Do you remember the days when red exclamation marks floated above derailed trains instead of the yellow X's?
Yes.
Then you need to raise your hand.
And they brought them. Yes, I'm raising the hand. And they brought them back, actually.
Oh, they did? I did not know that. They're back in service pack
Yes,
too?
but
That
not
is-
for
that is
derailed
lit-
trains.
that is
But not for
literally
derailed
saying
trains.
You've been spotted.
For what then? For if an
The
AI train gets stuck or something?
No. For desynchronized trains in multiplayer.
Ah! Oh, well that's nice. It's like an old friend who's returning, but he's gotten older and more different. That sort of thing.
So,
It's
hello,
definitely
exclamation
not-
mark, my old friend, or something.
Well, it's definitely red, and it's definitely not a low-quality JPEG.
Raise his hand, lowers hand. Mine, you lowered my hand, has no hand. How are you typing then? Other hand? Or with the nose? I said has no hand, not has no hands. Yeah, that's true or potentially true. Some of the newer TTT locomotives or trains even have sliders for the eyes and a directional control thing too, and all the different faces remodeled from the TVs. More messages, PPPPP. Definitely not pointless chatters. Sharabot posh mode activated, like XD. You know these messages, haha. Possibly yes. No, I don't know. To be honest, yo, I'ma steal the hedge from your house. Then Paradise, there's a streetcar included in one of the Train Simulator 2012 routes. Hehehehe. KOID, I've already typed that. Why not copy paste? And thank you, because I can't copy it. It's displayed in the bottom corner. I can't copy it. I was in the route. And thank you. Yes. But even if you laugh in the non-VC streams, the laughter wouldn't really be in the stream, would it? We don't need two logic detectives here. Shadow's good idea on the routes. Thank you. I don't know. They brought them back. Don't read our messages like that. You make them sound so uninteresting. Oh no, so scarily uninteresting. XD, he is reading without emotion, without any. Congratulations! During today's stream, the 1 hour mark of building the Milton Valley Railroad was reached. Was it? If so, then that is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Just now saw it. Where does it... How do you know that? Have you calculated it? Let's go!
I think you did.
That is impressive, if I do say so myself. I suppose that'll be messages. What I meant. Oh, right. Anyway, not that. Right, so thank you very much for calculating that. That was the perfect ending to the stream. And I've gone... I know I've gone 40 minutes over time. I was granted half an hour, and I took 40 minutes. Congratulations, bye. Yes, so shoutouts. Kango Fango streams OMSI2 map building, Trainz map building, very nice. He also streams Extreme Trucker 2, which is a great game. It has the Road of Death in it, and the Ice Highway, and also the Australian Outback, and also Bangladesh. It is very, very nice.
He has a stream tomorrow, so give a look out for
Yes.
that.
Oh, also Montana. Yes. Right. And, well, I've got Slovak Eagle here, so shout yourself out. Go ahead. You wanted to. Do it.
Okay. So, if you are interested in Trainz route building for more closely Central Europe, I'm basically one of the leaders of the project. So, if you're interested in that, then definitely go and follow me. I sometimes also stream Euro Truck, sometimes Mini Metro, sometimes some other games. that I cannot remember the name of now, but it basically depends. I don't have a schedule. I just stream when my internet is good.
Oh.
I guess that's all. I don't know.
No, that was great.
Yay!
Right, so. All right, that was lovely. And yes, thank you for the shout-out. Whispers, this is your stage call, Slovak. This is your place's call.
Oh, don't you making me miss it.
Thank you, place. Yes, I do miss it. I miss it so much. Anyway, we're talking about theatre stuff anyway. And and here are your lines. Hands over sheet of paper. Audience watches intensely. Or audience applauds. Stage call. Goes on stage. Realizes. Doesn't know what he's supposed to say. Someone walks on stage. Gives him the lines. Go.
Yes.
That would be so much fun, though. That would be so much fun to do.
It would.
Anyway, it's been very lovely having you here. I've had a lot of fun, and I've got a surprisingly large amount of stuff done. So
well done.
We might be able to do this more often if people want to.
Depends on the game, really.
Yeah. Right, so this stream will be archived on YouTube. So without any further ado, except reading what's been posted in chat just now, goodbye. So basically, just imagine for you to do that. Lol, IRL in theater would be so nice. Try dice. Bye all. Yes, just push Eagle on stage. No, I wouldn't do it to him. Calculations is on Discord. Oh, I see. Shades, do we voice chat while thundering down the road of death and no. Anyway, bye. Bye, Slovak Eagle. Bye, everybody watching.
Adios.
I'm just gonna stay here for a little while because to let people catch up. Because I'm still live. Just let people catch up and bye.